Once upon a time, in a small city where life was going well, a 35-year-old woman named Aisha lived happily with her family. She was married to a kind and hard-working man named David, a well-known car repairer all over their small city. Every wealthy man in the city trusts him with their luxurious car because of his honesty and skill. They respected him. He reciprocated by respecting them and treating them with maximum love. And with this, his business flourished. Aisha also had her own success. She was an excellent cook and she ran a busy restaurant where people gathered daily to enjoy a delicious meal. Together, they lived comfortable with their two sons, Mike and John, who attend a prestigious school. However, despite their comfortable life, their home and business were in rented property. This got Aisha worried. One day, when David returned from work, she voiced out her pain. "My dear, please, can we buy our own house so we can stop paying rent? The business is fine on the rented property, but this money we can use for other things," she said. David responded, "Okay, my dear, you said it, we'll think about it. But we are comfortable, we can pay for the rent. Why the rush?" "Don't worry, we'll think about it. We'll find a way around it," he responded that evening. One fateful day, tragedy struck. David suddenly fell ill and was rushed to the hospital. His condition was severe, a heart problem. They never knew he had, but often, whenever he returned from work, he always complained pain all over his body, which he usually take pain medication. When it's morning, he returned to his business like nothing had happened. But this time around, he needed urgent medical care. They've spent all they save, both at home and in the bank, trying to save him. For 2 agony months, Aisha stayed by inside, hoping for a miracle, but it was too late. David has passed away, leaving her and her children to fend for themselves. With no money left and no one to turn to, Aisha struggled to keep up with her financial responsibility. She had already sold everything in her restaurants to cover the hospital bill, but it wasn't enough. She tried small jobs, but the income was barely sufficient to feed her and her children. The landlord of their rented house was initially sympathetic, but as months passed, he grew impatient. Despite Aisha's tearful pleas for more time, he had no mercy. One day, he hired some boys to throw their things out of his house. With nowhere else to go, Aisha took her children and they returned back to her village. Life in the village was difficult. The children had to adapt also to the life in the village, which was very hard for the two boys. She joined other women in working on the farm, cutting grass and making yam bands for little pay. Yet in her heart, she longed to reopen her restaurants again. Whenever she passed a spot close to the village market, she would say to herself, "I think this spot is okay. One day I will reopen my restaurants here." She starts saving money little by little, hoping one day she can start her restaurant business afresh. One afternoon, while working on the farm far from the village, a heavy rainstorm. Aisha was forced to walk to take shelter in an old hut. She stayed hours inside the shelter waiting for the rain to stop. But at the moment, an airy presence filled the air. A very old woman with a glowing eyes appeared before her. Fear gripped Aisha, but the woman spoke calmly. "Fear not, my child. I mean no harm to you." The woman said, "I am your mother's ancestor. You are fated to honor your roots, and that is why misfortune has before you. We took your husband so that you can return to the village. Before your mother died, she paid homage to us. We know you need money to restart your cooking business. We can provide it for you, if only you agree to comply with our condition." "What is the condition, ma?" Aisha asked. "The condition is, as people eat your food, they become our captive and we use them whichever way that pleases us. Because the village has failed to return back to their roots in paying homage to their father ancestor. And we know you are the only way to bring them back to us. They love food and they love to eat. This is the way to their hearts." Aisha's eye widened with surprise. "Sorry, ma, I cannot kill anybody." The woman laughed out loud. "You are not killing anybody, my child. You are just the key to bring the people back to us. This will make you very rich, and you will return back to business as you always wish in your heart," the woman said. Aisha still shaking. The woman said, "Go home and think about it. Return whenever you are ready." For days, Aisha stayed indoors, lost in deep thoughts. Whenever her fellow women came calling for work, she would claim to be sick. After weeks of internal struggle, she made a decision. She returned to the farm at midnight, leaving her children while they were sleeping. She waited, almost giving up. Then the old woman reappeared. "Welcome," the old woman said. "You've made your decision. Come with me." Aisha followed her to the mysterious house. The old woman handed her a bundle of money. "Go and start your restaurant business, but it will be called Mama na Mama Food." The next day, Aisha wasted no time. She employed people and they made her restaurants in the spot she always wanted. She named the restaurants Mama na Mama Food. That night, she returned back to the old woman to express her gratitude. "Go home, child. You don't need to thank me," the old woman told her. The next morning, Aisha arrived at a restaurant, expecting to start cleaning and prepare food. To her widest surprise, everything was already in place. Pot of steaming jollof rice, cold drink, and even a stand for roasted meat. The aroma filled the air, attracting customers instantly. People swarmed into her restaurants. Her food was irresistible. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. Her business became the most popular in the village. People praised her amazing food and how she always had fresh and hot meal, even ice cold drink when there was no electricity in the village. One of her customers, Emeka, asked, "Mama na Mama, how are you able to have cold drink even when there was no electricity in the village?" Emeka asked. She responded with a smile, "I always get people to buy me ice from the city. That is why my drinks are always cold." Another customer asked, "Mama na Mama, how are you able to cook this food on your own without help? Can I ask my wife to assist you sometime?" "No," she said. "Even in the city, I am the only one that prepares my food. My restaurant in the city is bigger than this. You can go and ask if you want." Deep down in her heart, she knows she just lied. In the city, she has a lot of sales girls who help her to prepare her food. One day, a woman named Fatima, whose restaurant has been forced to shut down, becomes suspicious. She decides to investigate. Late at night, she will hide near Aisha's restaurant, hoping to uncover the truth. Night after night, she waited, but she saw nothing unusual. So one day, her friend visited Zainab. They both talked about Mama na Mama Food. How is she able to do these things by herself? One of my friends told me her husband asked her if she could come and help, but she said no. Together they devised a plan to unveil her secret. There is something she's hiding, Fatima said, and we must find out. Early one morning, they arrived at the restaurant before anyone else. To their greatest surprise, they saw invisible eyes cooking the food. Terrified, they ran home. Determined to gather more information, they stayed behind. When it was 12 at night, they secretly followed Aisha into the forest. They saw Aisha offering leftover food people have eaten to the old woman in the forest. With surprise, they ran back as fast as their leg could carry them. The next morning, they spread the news. Angry villagers stormed Aisha restaurants, demanding for the truth. Overwhelmed, she broke down and confessed everything. News of her supernatural deal reached the city, and among those who heard was a wealthy man to whom David had lent large sum of money for in the past. The man has been searching for Aisha and her family. Upon learning of her situation, he rushed down to the police station where she has been arrested. Since her release would take time, he promised to take care of her children. I will help you take care of your children, he said. Think when you are released. Your husband has been a very good friend. He has lent me large amount of money. So I can't give you the money now, but I can use it to take care of your children. I promise to take care of them, he said. Thank you, with tears in her eyes. I have made a lot of mistakes, and the mistake has landed me here. Please, take good care of my children. They are all I got left, as I have lost everything, she said. The moral of the story is, Aisha lost everything. Her restaurant was shut down, and she was left with nothing but regrets. Life is not always a bed of roses, and shortcuts often come with a heavy price. Though legit way to make money is hard, but you have to be patient. We should always learn to be patient. Honesty are virtues, not to be taken lightly. We should always be careful when accepting conditions we know nothing about in order to make money, as every offering comes with its own consequences. True success requires hard work and perseverance. Above all, one must be mindful of where they eat and the source of other people's blessing. This video is not teaching us or telling us that all restaurants has an evil secret, but you have to be careful and prayerful. Whenever you want to eat, pray on your food. Thank you for being here today. I hope to see you on my next video. To my returning subscriber, thank you. God bless you. I really appreciate. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you. See you on my next one. Bye.